Do you think that we have a scenario, a possible scenario of the United States becomes less interested in Israel, and this might help in solving the Palestinian issue, and this might be in the favor of the Palestinians and the resistance of the Palestinians, of course?
I would definitely not count on that, because the power of the Zionist lobby in the United States is very great. They are an element in almost every part of the power structure. Part of it is deliberate and part of it is not. Israel is one of the major lobbies in the United States. It take Kamala Harris, our vice president, for example. I met her when she was district attorney of San Francisco. She had just come back from a week in Israel where she was invited and wined and dined and you know, all this kind of thing. And they obviously selected her as someone to become a king or queen of the politics. So she went directly from being the district attorney of San Francisco to becoming Attorney General of California. And each time she was only elected once to any of these offices. District Attorney of San Francisco, Attorney General of San Francisco, Senator from California, and then Vice President. And all in the space of a very short time. Who's paving the way for her? Well, the Zionists are an important part of that. They have the means and they have the money and so forth. The Zionist lobby is not, you know, omnipotent. They can be defeated, but they're very powerful. And so I'm not so confident that the United States will make a decision to dump Israel, because Israel has its roots in the American power structure. So I'm not at all confident that it's going to go away that easily. I think the Zionists may self-destruct. That is to say that their base in the U.S., the Zionists who are in the U.S. and in the power structure, will begin to say, oh, I don't want to be associated with that group anymore. They'll be too ugly and too nasty as a group, like any of the Nazis, let's say, or something like that. They'll have this image, and it won't be acceptable. So that's one thing that could cut off their power. The other thing is that the Palestinians, I believe, have the power to liberate themselves. Nobody else has that power. The Palestinians themselves. But it requires a enormous sacrifice from the Palestinians. And I don't mean sacrifice in terms of being willing to kill, but being willing to die. Hopefully not die. In fact, I tend to think that it won't require that. But they have to be willing to take some very big chances, and they need to take it as a unified group. In massive numbers, Palestinians have in the past gone to Jerusalem and other places, and when they do, such as with the funeral of Faisal Husseini, when they do, the Israeli authorities just step aside. And if this is done enough with enough people, in Gaza, for the Great March of Return, for example, the Great March of Return was fine, except that I think that maybe if they had tried to take 20,000 or 50,000 or 100,000 people all the way to Jerusalem, they could have done it, I think. I think it would have been possible to do that because they give no reason for anybody to stop them. So I don't know, but these are some ideas that I don't know if they're helpful, but it requires unity. And of course, the Zionists will try to keep them disunified and divided as much as possible. And I don't know how to overcome that. I don't know. This is up to the Palestinians to do that. I think their destiny is in their hands, but it's more difficult than I imagined. I remember, for example, in the U.S. that the native population of the United States attempted to unify at one time or another, and they failed. Mm-hmm. And the result is that the United States was ethnically cleansed of its native population. I would hate to see that happen to the Palestinians. I support the Palestinians in everything they do to liberate themselves. But clearly, whatever they've done has not been enough because they're not liberated yet. So that's a message. It means that a greater effort is necessary and new strategies are necessary. And I can offer ideas, I can offer support. That's all any of us who are not Palestinian can do. And if they ask us for help, we'll give whatever help we can provide. But I think ultimately it's up to them.
Are you optimistic regarding the solidarity with Palestine worldwide? And
yes.
Especially in the US?
Yes, I believe that solidarity is increasing everywhere. And that's all very good. I think it's helpful. It's necessary, but not sufficient. The solidarity will help a Palestinian effort to liberate themselves, and and I think that their effort will increase the support for Palestine. But I mean, nobody's saying it's easy. It's extremely difficult. But yes, the world is finally coming around to almost universal support.
Mr. Lارودي, this was a very rich interview, and I'm very glad that we had the chance to do it. Thank you a lot for your time. I appreciate it, and on behalf of الميادين network, thank you for your time, and we hope to see you in Lebanon and in Syria and in our region.
Thank you for your invitation. I married into the Lebanese community, and I've worked for many years in this part of the world, and I feel that it's a part of me now, and I have to do what I can to work in the interest of everyone in this part of the world and beyond.